Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fabulites. So I got some questions for you. What opens with Giselle getting a mama from the airport and closes with a hookah party? If you guess the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 2, episode 3 or 4. I don't have it in my notes. Woo! All right, then you're right. That's what I'm reviewing and recapping and commenting on real quick. If you have, if you'd like to hear my review, please stick around, like, comment, subscribe, and all of that. And thank you for being here today. Thank you for liking and commenting and subscribing. Okay, so the first thing we see Giselle at the airport picking up her mom. Her mom lives in Houston, in Giselle's old neighborhood. When Giselle moved out, her mom moved in. Did she move out when she got married to the pastor and moved to Atlanta to be the first lady of the church? I don't know. But her new boyfriend, Kevin, the guy she's dating that we've seen him go on one date this season, he lives in that neighborhood. He would check in on her mom in the house and everything. And so, you know, her mom and him have developed a relationship. And the mom said that Giselle and the guy have been knowing each other for over half their lives. So, you know, I don't know. Did she live there when she was, how old is she? About 45? She lived there when she was 20. Then she moved out, and then her mom moved in. I don't know. So anyway, that's the first scene. When we talk about, I know all of y'all don't watch Underground, but on Underground, there's a character who was passing for white. Now, the two mamas that we saw on this episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, I feel that I could cast either one of them to pass for white, and I would believe that they were white. Are they white? I mean, you know, white, of course, is a racial construct. That's a fake thing. But, you know, I would be more likely to believe that they had no or very, very little African ancestry than the woman, Georgia, that they cast on Underground to be mixed. But that's just me. What did y'all think? Do you watch Underground? If you don't watch Underground, start watching Underground. That's my favorite show of all time. Okay. Is it? I don't know. I do love Underground. Karen, we're at Karen. She's at a restaurant with Dr. Ray. His first name is Ray. That's her husband, the Black Bill Gates. I don't want to call him the Black Bill Gates. I'm going to call him Dr. Ray. That's why I wrote that down, but I didn't know if y'all would even know who I was talking about. But they're talking about being empty nesters and reconnecting and house hunting. This is her second marriage. And I thought the only thing that was relatively interesting to me is that they showed pictures of her when she was younger. And, you know, like the first picture, my mother is like, I wouldn't even recognize her. I don't know if I wouldn't recognize her, because when I looked, it's like I could kind of see her on the next picture, but maybe on the first picture. But that was cute. I like seeing their the pictures from when she was younger. And, you know, I don't know, get to know people better. Because even on last episode, when we saw the pictures of Robin with Juan when they were younger, I felt from looking at the pictures that I got a different vibration on Robin. I felt that Robin was much more insecure than I would have imagined. Just looking at those pictures. Now, I'm not psychic. I don't know. But I just got a feeling from looking at her old pictures. It gave me like a vibe on who she is as a person. But, you know, that's what happened when you look at pictures. Okay, so the third scene, we're at Sharice's. She's on the phone. She's planning Skylar's Sweet 16. Ash comes over. Ash secures Oz a catering gig. I was like, oh, that's really cool. She asked if Eddie is coming to the party, to Skylar's Sweet 16. Monique joins in the conversation by the pool. Monique has on a very cute little sundress. I really like that sundress, girl. They talk about the pull-out method as a form of birth control. They talk about the hookah night because they're all really stressed. I think that's Ash's idea. And then they talk about layers of shade. And I thought that, yeah, okay. So then scene 4, we have Robin at her parents' house. She lives closer to them now, so she likes that. So then it really made me confused, because for some reason in my head, I had constructed this story that Robin and Giselle had grown up in Potomac, that they were like, you know, the people that we read about in Our Kind of People. Have you read Our Kind of People? If you haven't read it, read it. But I thought these were the people that we read about in Our Kind of People, who have been, you know, old school, light skin, DC, you know, black free folks for generations and generations and generations. So, you know, I don't know what's up with that. And then she said something about that's what Juan does. He stands her up, not makes her a priority. And she just divorced him over the cheating, and Juan only cheated once. I'm like, Juan only cheated once? You only divorced him over the cheating? Why would you be married to someone who makes it a habit to stand you up and not make you a priority? I mean, that does not sound appealing or attractive, or like someone I'd be like, oh, I want to be in a relationship with them. I'm like, boo, yuck. Okay. Oh, okay. That's what I wrote. Oh, okay. Okay, so then we have Charisse at Skylar's Sweet 16. I really like the huge Skylar that they had on the floor. All the kids and the people were in white. That was pretty. Ashley was there. She's like, no one eats bacon. I listened to somebody's review last night, and was it Ashley? She was like, hey, Ashley, hey. I do listen to your reviews. I love your reviews. She was like, they knew that wasn't no bacon. They knew it was kangaroo, and they wasn't trying to get caught up in the trick bag. That's terrible. So I was confused too, because I'm like, if you have if you're catering for somebody, don't you work on a menu together so that the client is comfortable with what's being prepared, and we know pricing and everything. I didn't understand what was going on. And then it made me think that maybe, because she said that I sent so-and-so over, so then it made me think that maybe she just donated the food, and that's not getting a job. I mean, that's getting publicity, because we saw her on Watch What Happens Live last night as well, and she had Andy eat some food. So that's good, being on the show. They get to promote, they get to, Andy tried something, emu, kangaroo, or whatever, and he said he didn't want to try it, but it wasn't bad. Now, he wasn't raving about it and saying it was good, but maybe it's a acquired taste. He might be calling up Oz, ordering food, later on. But go on out there and promote, Ashley, girl. If you got to give it away, give it away. Get the word out. Get people to try it. Get some feedback. So Eddie does show up at the party. They don't talk at all, or from what we can see, there's no interaction. And was that her son? Was that Charisse, is that her name? Charisse's son lounging all over her? That's a good looking child. She has some good looking children. Her daughter looks just like her. Jackson is the son. At least in the dark, he was good looking. The way it was shot and edited, it seemed like Charisse and the kids were on one side and Eddie was on the other side. But when you're dealing with stuff like divorce, and it's kind of like there are so many awkward, weird situations that we can encounter in the real world that may not look pretty for TV and may not look pretty or cute for a young, how old is that girl? 25, Ashley, 25. What she's been, I don't know what she's been exposed to in life, but she might have fairy tale ideas about, relationships, or maybe her parents were really, in the way that they interacted with each other, they were really mature, but there is such a range in behaviors. I mean, it was kind of sad to see them not interacting, but, maybe that's a step in the right direction. Better to not interact than be yelling and screaming. I don't know. I'm just saying. So then we see Monique. Monique is house hunting. Is that tub made of stone? There wasn't really much to that. Is that the house? I don't know. I didn't really see much in that scene. Then we see Giselle and her mom at Kevin's place. They're meeting Kevin Jr. The mom, Giselle says that her mom never liked anyone that she dated or married before. And Giselle, I thought that was funny. She said she likes somebody to check her and tell her to sit down once a month. Once a month, that's cool. Every once in a while, you definitely, if you're a strong person with a strong personality, you want to feel like you're with someone who can handle you, who's not just going to let you run all over them. So I could understand that, but I thought that was funny. He cooked for them. He had belated Mother's Day gifts. When we saw him on the first date, he had gifts for them. And I don't know if I kind of felt like something is suspicious in this situation, because I'm assuming that if the mother has had a long-standing relationship with him, that there's some sort of vetting in that process, that she would know him, she would have a context, they live in the neighborhood, she would have a frame of reference. I don't know her, Giselle's mother, but I know if my mother liked somebody, that would be like, that would be, half the game right there. I would think, I think my mother is pretty sharp, and, would be looking out for my, would be looking out for my best interest. So I don't know if it's just kind of figuring out if they have, you know, sexual relationship type chemistry or not. You know, I don't know. Then we have Karen with her son Brandon at a restaurant. And Brandon seems really down to earth, and he seems like he's not really going to play the reality TV game. So when she's like, oh, this is really bad service. Now, I did agree with her. I feel like, you know, I think, well, I don't know if it's bad service, but I think it's nice at a restaurant when they pour your water for you, especially if you're getting bottled water. And her son is like, you could pour your own water, and it's true. I'm sure at home she pours her own water or whatever, but I understood what she was saying. And she was talking about mommy took care of you, mommy this, mommy that, mommy ordered for you. They're trying to get a weekly, every other, she said, well, we should get together weekly. And he like, well, maybe every other week. So, I mean, I think that's cool to see her with her children. And I wrote down firing who, so I guess I missed something. Did somebody get fired? Did somebody lose their job? I don't know. Look, this time I was trying to take notes during the show. But you know, we trying to work this system out. So the last scene, and I guess it's supposed to be the culminating scene, is the hookah party. Ash is there, and then Monique arrives with her wine and her aerator. So this is a bring your own alcohol party. So she has come, you know, I'm not really a drinker, but I know that just a aerator is like next level wine drinker. That's not like some basic bitch shit. That's some next level stuff. So I guess she's, you know, she's a next level kind of woman. She ain't just gonna bring her wine, she got to bring her aerator. Okay. I missed when Karen and Sharice came in, but they are there. Ash told the group about Sharice's husband, Eddie, being there. And Sharice didn't really appreciate it. I mean, you know, I feel like it's reality TV. So, I mean, it's kind of like anything is, you know, fair game, I guess. But maybe that'll create some drama or some tension or whatever. She said, Ashley said she felt like seeing Eddie was like seeing Bigfoot in the Himalayas. Like you hear about him, but you never see him. I thought that was kind of funny. And then she said it again on Watch What Happens Live. So I guess she thought it was funny too. She thought it was funny enough to say again. Sharice says that we're on good times. We're on good terms. You know, she says to the ladies, me and Eddie are on good terms. And Ashley is like, well, did you two talk? Because I didn't see y'all talk. We ain't see him talk either, girl. And Sharice really is trying to move the conversation along and does not want to discuss something that's probably very sensitive and personal on reality TV with a bunch of fake friends and a bunch of strangers, me and you, watching. Sharice says she's been celibate for 4 years. The lighting in the interviews, I noticed it with Giselle's interview. It looked really purple or weird or something. And then I guess I also noticed it after a while in the Grand Dame's interviews. What's her name? Karen, and Karen's interviews. That whole you don't call it a tutu, you call it a vajayjay. It reminded me of the vagina monologues, because I think you call it a vagina. Use the correct term. You ain't got to call it a pocketbook, a tutu. Although I did like tutu. I thought that was pretty cute. It was cute. But it just reminded me, of all the different terms and ways we have of, addressing our vagina, talking about our vagina, referring to our vagina, and what, that we have different comfort with different terms and, whatever. So anyway, Monique and Giselle talking about Monique, is she flashing her wealth? Is she dropping, names? She kind of talked about how she knows the Obamas, and Obama loves her husband, and the bottle of wine they're drinking was $250. Now it's $75 or $80 or whatever she said, which still to me sounds like $80 for, I don't know, I don't buy wine, but can't you get like a bottle of wine for $8? I guess it's not that special kind that has to be aerated. You get one for $20 probably, but $80, that probably ain't no cheap wine either. So $250, that's, I don't know if the girl is flashing her wealth. She's, she's living a good life, and I guess she, she's probably used to dropping names, and, I don't know. I don't find her offensive in this. She hasn't gotten on my nerves yet. We saw Dr. Jeff Gardier, the black therapist that seems to show up on a lot of these reality shows, and he used to show up on talk shows a lot counseling people. So he has been Sharice's therapist for 2 or 3 years. So that might have been a whole nother scene, but I had that in with the hookah. But y'all, that's all I got. It wasn't just boring to where I fell asleep, because I had done a show and I was really tired yesterday. So I did stay up and watch it. And I even stayed up and watch What Happens Live. So I was up late. But I was tired. And I guess if it had been, boring, maybe if I hadn't committed in my head to review it, I wouldn't have stayed and watched it. I don't know. But I probably would have watched it. Are y'all? Nobody said anything yet. But is it boring to you? I asked my mother. She said, no, it's not boring. So that's it. The Real Housewives of Potomac. That's what we got. Like, comment. Well, I already said that already. All right. Then just go on out and be you. Be fabulous. Have a fabulous day. And be fabulous. Yo!